Snatch back your brain, zombie. Snatch it back and hold it.
What's going on, Low Techs? It's me, Mystery, and this is not my normal kind of video, but I'm going to put it out there. It's going to be a short video, even shorter than my most recent video, mostly to address some questions that I got regarding how to quit Igenus. Not putting anybody's information out there, not saying anything to anybody who sent me a private message on any of the socials, but one of the questions is, how do I quit Igenus? Now, I figured we could go over a couple ways to quit Igenus, at least what they specify. I do not, now, mind you, I've not signed up for Igenus. I don't know the intricacies of quitting from being a member of. So if you are or were, if you could either leave a comment with how to get out of Igenus, if you've been able to break away clean and clear, if you could leave a comment, that would be great to give some information for other people. If you don't want to leave a comment because maybe you don't want your name out there, that's fine. My socials are down here. Hit me up on there, send me a private message, let me know what steps you took, and I'll make a video keeping you anonymous, but just to help educate other people who are currently in that rough position. So yeah, first things first, if we want to see how to quit Igenus, we're going to take a look at their policies, what they say. Now, it's a little grimy and it looks clean, cut, and dry, but we all know things are a little more difficult than what they appear to be on paper. So let's go ahead and swap over here. So right here, we're at the policies, purchase, terms, and conditions for Igenus Global. Right off the bat, at the very top, it says, and it's right, let me get my thing up here. This says the following terms apply to the purchase of subscriptions offered by Igenus LLC, the company. All subscriptions will auto-renew unless canceled prior to the renewal date. So there's one thing to keep in mind. As soon as you sign up and put in your payment method, it'll automatically set it to auto-renew. So it won't just, like if you're waiting for it to just try a month or whatever, don't wait for that. Go ahead and change or edit your payment method, cancel that out. I don't think it'll delete. I had one person tell me that it wouldn't let them delete the payment method, so they had to change it over to a different payment method type. Highly recommend doing that. It says there will be no refunds on subscription renewals that have not been canceled at least 3 days prior to the renewal date. So that's one thing to keep in mind there. So if it goes through, then you need to go ahead and request a refund. Now, I do have some history, not history, but a little bit of experience on things like that. So at the end of what we go through here, I'll give you some resources, some experiences that I've got or that I have regarding how to make it so that you don't have to worry about the transaction coming through regardless of, now, mind you, it's not 100%. Nothing is 100% when dealing with electronic funds transfers and stuff like that. So anyway, no refunds of initial purchase will be made except when they're requested within 10 days of the initial purchase. We already went over that. And this is your basic stuff here that says by selecting I agree, you agree to all the terms. And this is all information about all the things. We're not going to really go through this because it doesn't really pertain to you getting your money back, except the very last right here, notice the right to cancel. It says you may cancel your initial transaction without any penalty or obligation within 10 days from the order date. Upon canceling your initial purchase, any payments made by you under the initial contract or sale and any negotiable instrument executed by you will be returned within 14 business days following receipt by the seller of your cancellation notice. And any security interest arising out of the transaction will be canceled. And it says to cancel this transaction, please submit your cancellation request through the member support ticketing system or via email to support@igenusglobal.com no later than midnight of the 10th day following the date set forth above. They make that... I say it all the time. These companies try to flatline you financially. This is just another option here. It should be as easy as I want to cancel, give me my money back. And if they're a reputable company and it's not, millions of dollars or several $1,000s, then they should be able to just go ahead and get that back to you within the time allotted. But no, not these companies. These companies don't want to give you your stuff back, so they're going to hold it as long as they can. So yeah, there it is right there. I don't know if this actually works, considering how many people have sent me messages asking me if I know how to quit. I can only give you this. Here's some resources I will say. First off, I don't know the payment methods used. If it was a bank account via bank account number with routing number, it's likely an ACH transaction. Well, it is an ACH transaction, which is automated clearinghouse, which if you go back to your financial institution or wherever your bank account is housed, and you speak with, you should be able to go into a location or even call their fraud department and tell them that you want to have an ACH block placed on your account. They do have the system in place to do that. Most banks. I don't want to say all banks, even though all banks should. I can't speak for all banks. I have worked for financial institutions in the past, so I do know of a few, but I'm not going to name them, obviously. But you can reach out to the customer support, get transferred over to the fraud department, let them know that you have been involved with an MLM, you've canceled everything on their side, you want to make sure no transactions go through on the bank side, give them the dollar ranges that the transactions are for. You could just look back through your payment history, see what they normally come through as. I always recommend telling the bank to go a little below and a little above the dollar amount, because some scammy companies will actually try to give a little bit less or a little bit more just to see if they can get around that ACH block. Give them all the names that we have for the company, which should be, based on this information here, it should only come through as Igenus LLC. But I would give them Igenus, Igenus Global, Igenus LLC, Kuvera Global, Kuvera Global LLC. Like, if they'll allow you to put all this information on there, the more information you give them, the better. InvestView, I would even do that. Wealth Generators, I would even do that, considering they've rebranded 3 times. They might still have some of those companies active to run transactions through. I've seen it done, so that's one thing you can do. Debit credit cards, if it's a bank debit credit card, like attached to your bank account, you can go ahead and put an alert on your account by speaking with your financial institution's debit card fraud department. And same situation, give them the information. They should be able to go through your debit card history if it's, within 3 months, maybe 90 days, or maybe 6 months. I don't know how far back your bank can go. So if you're looking to do this, get it done as soon as possible. Don't wait on it. But they can put a block in there for that particular company right there. Now, don't put a claim in and expect to get your money back, right? They've already listed their policies in regards to refunds here, and you might be the fortunate few that can get your bank to get the money back, but that's not going to be the same story for everybody. So don't try to do a claim and expect to get your money back. One, because if you file a claim and it comes back to be a false claim, then that could work negatively against you, and then you could be incurred any kind of fees associated with it, which would not be fun, especially if you're already trying to make ends meet and you're dealing with these companies. Hey, real fast, jumping in here. This is editing mystery. One thing I forgot to mention regarding your debit card is if it's set up as an automatic debit through debit card or a recurring transaction, and you really, really don't want them to charge that card anymore, it is extremely inconvenient to do this, but it is one method you could use to make sure that you don't get another transaction to go through, and that is to request a new card, not an updated card. You don't want it to have the same number, because if you utilize the same number, some companies have a paid subscription with Visa, MasterCard that automatically updates payment information, like 3-digit code on the back, expiration information with them, to make it so that it's easier to not interrupt transactions. And it's meant to be a service, but in this situation, it could be a negative. So if you have tried all the things, but you're wanting just that extra layer, and you use your debit credit card, or even your actual credit card from a credit lender, request a new card, new number. And that should, I mean, like I said, nothing's perfect, but it's very difficult for them to transact on that old debit card or that old debit credit card if you've updated that information, got a whole new card. So yeah, mind you, that will inactivate your existing card. So anything tied to that card not related to this will have to be updated. Like I said, it's a massive inconvenience, but it is a surefire way to make sure that you don't get charged in the future. So there's that. And back to other mystery with the better vest. So there's that. Give that a go and see. And same situation, if it's like an actual credit card, reach out to your credit lender for that particular card, advise them of the situation, tell them what you want to do, and do the same steps as you would with a bank, and they should be able to get that squared away. Some people have expressed concern about their personal information, privacy. I don't believe, now, this is a blanket statement. I don't know for certain. I would hope not, but if the company is utilizing, if you're in the States or there's any kind of like number, if you're in a country that has a number, like for me, it's Social Security. So say I provide my personal information, Social Security number, email, stuff like that, to this company, and I'm afraid that they're actually going to do something with that information, you could always reach out and put a fraud alert on your social, or you can reach out to the credit bureaus to do that, and you can notify one, and they will notify all of them and specify that you think your identity might have been stolen. I mean, you don't want to put in a false claim, but you want to kind of let them know what's going on and see, just because you may be concerned that your information may have been stolen. And you don't want anybody to utilize your information to open up another account, bank account, stuff like that. Email is kind of tough. You just have to update your password information on that. I mean, I'm sure there's better resources out there for that. I honestly don't know. I know Google has an entire question and answer, or FAQ, regarding when your email's been hacked, stolen, compromised. Reach out to them that way. But these are just little things that I would recommend doing if you are concerned of malicious intent upon canceling your payment method. Also, I do want to put this in there too. Bear in mind that if you are not able to update your payment information on the website to cancel your subscription, and you say you place it on an old card, or you put it to a card that you know doesn't have any money in the account, make sure that you have the setting, like reach out to your bank, advise them that you want to make it so that the bank will not automatically pay transactions for you that are auto-renew or auto-recurring, right? So some financial institutions will allow you to opt out of that, meaning if you don't have the money, you don't get the transaction to go through, and that saves you from getting a return item fee. I think most of the time you should be able to not get a return item fee. But if you have that option turned on with your bank and you say, okay, I'm just going to not leave the money in there, and you've authorized your bank to make certain transactions for you, or it makes transactions that are considered known transactions, it may let that go through automatically. So there's that information. Yeah. That's about it for the video. It's, like I said, it's just a quick updated video on Igenus on how to cancel your setup with them. I hope this helps. Yeah, don't let them flatline you. And like I said earlier, if you know how to get out of the system clean and clear, leave a comment or shoot me a direct message if you don't want your information to be put out there, and I'll do an update on it. Yeah, so hope that helped. Take it easy.
Snatch back your brain, zombie. Snatch it back and hold it.